Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I need it bad.
You know, if you need some color commentary on the mic.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to AAU Nationals live in Orlando, Florida for the 2023 VLA Tier 1 Championship Tournament. My name is Rob St. Clair, live here for the second match of pool play between the SoCal Rising Tide, the champions of the West Division, and the Boston Bounce. Gonna be a fun one. Winner of this advances to take on Team LVC later this afternoon. Loser will play the Phoenix Ascension. I will address the people here in the house. Nice featured court setup here in Orlando. Huge shout out to AAU Nationals for having us this weekend. We'll let the people know the starting lineups and let you guys know as well, and get right to first serve here in just a moment. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, live on Court 50 to the 2023 Volleyball League of America Tier 1 Championship Tournament. This is it for the season. The entire season that started in January all comes down to this tournament. Pool play today, semifinals, and our championship match tomorrow, all right here on Court 50. This second match of pool play features out of the East Division in black and purple, the Boston Bounce, taking on the champions from the West Division in blue, the SoCal Rising Tide. Introducing the starting lineups first for the Boston Bounce, a 6'3" setter from Johnson and Wales, number 14, Cameron Ponce. A 6'1" outside hitter from LaSalle University, number 7, Ryan Jackson. A 6'3" outside hitter from LaSalle University, number 17, Jeff Vautrin. A 6'5" opposite from Virginia Tech University, number 23, Sam Albus. A 6'4" middle blocker from Harvard University, number 8, Will Chambers. A 6'5" middle blocker from Endicott College, number 9, Nick Kasperzak. And a 5'10" libero from Puerto Rico, number 11, Lexi De La Cruz. Boston is managed by Jeff Vautrin. And from Irvine, California in blue, the champions of the West Division, the SoCal Rising Tide. A 6'2" setter from UC San Diego, number 20, Alec Jewell. A 6'3" outside hitter from Vassar College, number 4, Andrew Kim. A 6'7" outside hitter from Long Beach State University, number 21, Serge Nadasdin. A 6'5" opposite from Pepperdine University, number 11, Troy Magorian. A 6'5" middle blocker from UC Irvine, number 22, Ian Castellana. A 6'10" middle blocker from Cal Baptist University, number 23, Chris Johnson. And a 5'9" libero from Concordia University, Irvine, number 1, Ryan Radira. Also the manager of the Rising Tide, Mr. Ryan Radira. First serve coming up next. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, live Volleyball League of America action from the Tier 1 Championship Tournament, our playoff event for the entire 2023 season. Boston versus SoCal. The Boston bound second place in the East Division in black and purple on the near side. SoCal, the champions of the West Division, in blue on the far side. Here we go. And that defensive rundown off the block touch not quite able to be made. The first kill of the match goes to Andrew Kim, number 4 in blue, for the Rising Tide. Not a great pass by libero De La Cruz. Free ball chance and thrown down in the middle by Ian Castellana. New setter for the Rising Tide is Alec Jewell, number 20 in blue, out of UC San Diego. Interested to see how he connects with the Rising Tide hitters, but a lot of the usual suspects. Magorian, we'll see Chris Johnson in a minute. We got libero Ryan Radira, and Jewell misses that serve out of bounds, so Boston is on the board. Sends Ryan Jackson back to the service line, number 7 in black out of LaSalle. Good Division III program in Massachusetts. Kim on the right side, really good looking swing, and Andrew Kim out of Vassar College is 2 for 2. Gets the Rising Tide out of rotation 1 right there. Kim first look at the service line. Serge Nadasdin suiting up for the Rising Tide this weekend in the front court. There's Vautrin, the Boston captain, and first team all VLA outside hitter last season. Vautrin is an outstanding all-around outside hitter, really a 5-tool player, and a good swing there down the line off the block and out of bounds. Here is Will Chambers out of Harvard, the only Division I NCAA program in Massachusetts. Tip there by Nadasdin is picked up nicely. Look in transition. Vautrin off the block and out of bounds. And 2 swings, 2 kills. That one in transition for Vautrin, and we are tied up at 3. Best 3 out of 5 set match here in our second match of bracket pool play. Team LVC out of New York beat the Phoenix Ascension 3-0 earlier this morning. Good rip there on the right side by Troy Magorian. His first swing is a kill. The opposite out of Pepperdine for the Rising Tide. So a 4-team bracket pool here in pool play at the 2023 Tier 1 Championship. Winner of this match here, Boston versus SoCal, takes on Team LVC for the 1 seed in tomorrow's bracket, but all 4 teams do make the semifinals. Good block there by Johnson against Kasper Zach. And the second chance swing by Vautrin misses short. Chris Johnson, number 23 in blue, a beast of a middle blocker out of Cal Baptist, had a brilliant season, playing every event for the Rising Tide so far, except I believe the VLA Cup, but helped the Rising Tide win the West Division Cup back in San Diego in February. A bunch of really competitive West Division regular season events. The rivalry between the Rising Tide and the Phoenix Ascension is alive and well, certainly. Last saw the Rising Tide about a month ago, Memorial Day weekend in Long Beach. Overpass force there. Good serving by Sam Albus on loan this weekend from the River City Flow. For the Boston Bounce, that move approved by the VLA board. So good service pressure there by Albus, gets the overpass. And new middle blocker for Boston, Nick Kasperzak, number 9 in black, with the tap down. Tied up at 5. Nice deep cross-court rip by Nadazhdin. Good delivery from Alec Jewell. Beautiful pass by Vautrin. Albus out of the back row, down the line off of Radira and out of bounds, plus a rising tide net violation. Good looking back row swing from Albus there out of position 1. Here is Vautrin, one of Boston's most dangerous servers. Handled pretty nicely by Radira there, and Nadazhdin adjusts. Bit of a tight set, but he somehow cuts a cross-court angle inside the double block and scores. Serge Nadazhdin out of Long Beach State. Longtime VLA veterans, played for a handful of teams. Won the VLA Cup with Hawaii Imiola last season. Suiting up for the Rising Tide to try and win a Tier 1 championship. And he rips an ace serve there. Off the new libero, Lexi De La Cruz, the Puerto Rican. Number 11 in white for Boston, the victim that time. Albus high off the hands of Johnson, and Nadazhdin not deep enough to run that one down. See a bunch of these players here this weekend doing double duty, playing in this event for the VLA and coaching various junior teams, junior boys teams right now at AAU Nationals. So we got Coach John Predney on the sidelines, second team all VLA outside hitter. I'm sure he'll be suiting up later. Nice run down defensively, right on the net for Kim. He takes a swing, beautiful stab by Kasperzak. Albus dug by Megorian. Kim dug by Kasperzak again briefly, out of play, but a net violation against the Boston block. Good point there for both teams, won by the Rising Tide. Wow, that Rising Tide block was practically standing on the floor. Castellana and Kim were there, not very high, but they were there, and they do get the block against Will Chambers. It's 10-7 SoCal. Tight pass, Ponce, the front court setter, loses the joust to Kim, and a diving De La Cruz can't keep it alive. So the Rising Tide on a bit of a run here on the float serve of Big Chris Johnson. Working on an all VLA caliber season in the middle is number 23 in blue. Formerly suited up for the USA men's senior national team. Nice shot there by Ryan Jackson. Off the block of Jewell and out of bounds. Here is Cameron Ponce, one of 2 excellent setter options for the Boston Bounce. He forces an overpass there with the float serve. Back to Albus, off the block of Kim and out of bounds. And a nice quick break point there for the Boston Bounce. Off of the Cameron Ponce service pressure. Ponce grew up in the Bay Area, played for Bay to Bay, one of the best junior clubs in the country, before heading east to Rhode Island at Johnson and Wales for his NCAA career in Division III. Kim rolled over the block, and a net touch against Albus, the blocker. Nice off-speed choice there. Rising Tide kind of picking on De La Cruz right now, the libero, in his first VLA match. And not a great pass there. Forces a difficult chance for Albus, and he hits it out of bounds. 13-9 Rising Tide. Vautrin smartly lets that serve go out of bounds. Nice run there, gap set to Ian Castellana, the middle blocker out of UC Irvine. Finds some space between the blockers and finds the floor. Kim back to serve. Pretty good dig by Jewell off a block touch. Magorian can have a swing in transition, looking for fingertips, and he got him. Block touch called right away. Nice high rip by Troy Magorian, number 11 in blue. So the Rising Tide opened up a bit of a cushion here in the first set. Trying to keep Boston's offense as predictable as possible. And an overpass force there, blasted to the floor by Nadazhdin. Good service pressure by Kim, and Lexi De La Cruz kind of getting baptized by fire here at the libero position in his first VLA match. Been picked on so far. Here's Kim again. More pressure. Albus on the right side, dug by Kim over the block. Nadazhdin in transition is stuffed straight down, but just wide. That is straight down off the block of Albus, but didn't catch a piece of the sideline, and the run continues for the Rising Tide, 17-10. What a start. And a timeout for Boston, their first of the first set, trailing by a comfortable margin, 17-10 Rising Tide. Out of the timeout, Kim continuing to serve for the Rising Tide, 17-10. Looking like this first set will go to the West Division champs. Good serve there. Good deflects off the tape. De La Cruz fights it off. Albus with a hittable ball is able to score cross court somehow. Nice adjustment for the Boston opposite. Not an easy job to take swings and try to terminate in really difficult out-of-system situations like that, but that's the name of the game at this level. Easy serve from Chambers, and crushed in the middle by Castellana, wrist away. Nice set by Jewell. Good feed, Ponce to Kasperzak in the middle. I do think the Rising Tide probably has a matchup advantage on paper in the middle, especially when Chris Johnson is in the front court. So want to get that ball quick and to the gap there to Kasperzak to try and get some separation against Johnson, and that worked perfectly that time. Tight pass. That ball is off the block attempt of Jewell, and actually a back row block is going to be called. Jules a backcourt player. That ball was definitely above the plane of the net. Good call there, 13-18. Continuing run here from Albus is basically Boston's only chance in this first set. Magorian blocked and covered. The Dosden off speed. Albus is all over it. Pretty good looking transition for Vautrin. He recycles. Albus out of the back row. Deep cross court off of Jewel and out of play. And Sam Albus keeps his own service run alive. Now 14-18 only. This is not over yet. Good service pressure by Albus. Nadazden will take an out of system swing against three blockers. Deep, rolled, and right on the baseline. Did I say 19? All right, camera got bonked by a volleyball, but that is fixed now. 19-15 Rising Tide in reception. And crushed on the left side. Perfect first ball side out there for Nadazden. Perfect pass. Kasperzak in the middle is slowed down. Kim in transition off speed. Picked up by Ponce. Now Jackson tips it down the line and scores over Magorian off his fingertips and down. Smart play. And pretty good transition there for Boston. Nice dig by De La Cruz. Ooh, float serve missed into the top of the tape that time by Kasperzak. Johnson back to serve. We had a nice little run in this rotation for the Rising Tide last time around. 21-16. Can they put the punctuation mark on the first set right here? Vautrin out of the back row hangs and finds a gap in the block to score. Haven't seen a whole lot of that big play in system yet today. It's only a matter of time. Vautrin is lethal out of that spot. Pretty good block touch. Albus with a chance in transition. Tight set, and he throws it through the block of Kim and down on the Rising Tide side. So now 18-21. Boston trailed by as many as 7 at 17-10. But now, definitely a chance. If you're a Boston fan, by the way, let me know in the YouTube live chat where you're watching from, who you're rooting for. If everything looks and sounds okay, I can see your comments. See a couple Boston Bounce logos in there. Oh, what a block! Chambers and Albus all over that. Castellana nowhere to go. It's 19-21 now. This is getting very interesting here late in the first set. Potentially a massive comeback for Boston if they can keep it going. Good short float serve there by Ponce. Kim high flat, dug by Vautrin and sent over. Kim again, maybe a little early to that ball. Jackson is underneath it. Now Albus to get within one, but Radira somehow makes the play. Incredible chase down by the Rising Tide bench. Ooh, not good wood on that one from Chambers. Kim to finally put it away, and he does. Down the line off the shoulder of Pons ends what was by far the best rally of the first set so far. Excellent volleyball from both teams. Starting to see some really nice block defense. And it is Andrew Kim eventually with a very important kill for the Rising Tide to go back up by 3, 22-19. Jackson challenges the hands. Nadazhdin is underneath it. Big swing and transition for Kim. Off speed and kept alive. And that is 2 distinct contacts. Jackson on the right side, dug high by Nadazhdin, but Magorian going with the off speed, and that was not even particularly close. So Boston gets a bit of a point for free there. Jackson back to serve. Got to do some work in this rotation right here against Rising Tide rotation 1 receive for Boston to have a chance, and a float serve buried in the middle of the net. The exact opposite of what Boston was looking for, and now set point Rising Tide at 24-20. Andrew Kim, who's had a really good first set with the honors from the service line. Ace serve right on cue. Kim finishes it out in style, blasting the ace off of Ryan Jackson's chest, and the Rising Tide take set number 1 at 25-20. So the teams will change sides. We'll be back in just a minute with set number 2. See what sort of moves are made. A lot of volleyball left to play here in the second match of pool play, live from the Tier 1 Championship.
I don't know, close.
Set number 1 goes to the Rising Tide, 25-20. Teams will change sides. More volleyball coming up in just a second. I want to remind you guys, give the VLA a follow on social media at VLA Volleyball on Instagram, Volleyball League of America on YouTube, where all the matches are streaming, and volleyballleagueofamerica.com, the website with more info. Also, give these 2 teams a follow on Instagram at Rising Tide VB for the Rising Tide and at Bounce VBC for Boston.
Here's a fun little, sorry, is that fair? Fun little fact. All 3 teams that are here are all the 3 teams that beat us last year in the Chicago Championships. Plus, RBC group play, and Bounce, for Jason Eyes and the Rising Tide.
Wow, that's fun. That one was really bad, so I'm okay with it being called, but technically, we probably should let that one go. Yeah. It's crazy. I guess the argument is that they certainly don't gain an advantage from it, so yeah, if it's one motion and the ball stays on your side, let it go.
So what is this over here? What's VLA?
Volleyball League of America.
League of America.
Yep, men's professional league in its 3rd season. This is this is our
okay.
playoff event.
Very cool.
Yeah, check it out.
So, does Utah have a team?
Actually, yeah.
They
Utah,
have a Sting, right?
different league.
Different
but
league,
There,
okay.
there are actually 2 Utah teams playing for us.
I
But
live in Utah and you don't hear anything.
Oh, cool.
There's
Yeah.
like zero word out there.
That doesn't surprise me. Those 2 teams are young. They're figuring it out.
Hey, that's fun.
Maybe. We'll figure out what to do with those.
Set number 2 ready to go here from Orlando. Rob St. Clair live at AAU Nationals for the VLA Tier 1 Championship. No lineup changes for either team as the Rising Tide and the Boston Bounce get ready for set number 2. Rising Tide in blue on the near side led 17-10 in the middle of the first set before Boston got back into it. The Rising Tide finished it out 25-20. However, they start the second set with a float service error. I'm starting to get a reputation around here for my particular distaste of float serve misses, so it'd be great if the team stopped making me tear my hair out over here on the microphone. Pretty good short serve there. Magorian, though, makes a double block look invisible. Smoked cross court on the left side. And Magorian, fearless, will take a big rip at any ball, anywhere. And has been pretty productive in his action this season in rotation 1 on the left. That is sometimes a tricky thing for opposites to be good at. Albus, speaking of opposites on the left, he gets the ball on the left, hits a smart roll shot, and deflects off the defense out of bounds on the Boston side. That ball blocked by Vautrin out of bounds. Kill for Magorian on the right side. Ooh, that float serve barely makes it over the tape. Vautrin will take an out-of-system swing. I think that ball went off the head of Chris Johnson and out of bounds. Right between his arms, off the forehead. That is a fortuitous swing for Vautrin for sure. So Boston leads 3-2. Chambers, the middle blocker out of Harvard, back at the line. Very conservative standing float serve. And a productive one. Goes kind of through Kim's hands. Nadazhdin dug by Chambers, the middle blocker. Now Vautrin with a chance in transition, and he puts it away inside the block cross court. Nice breakpoint offensive chance there for Boston, and their captain and reigning first team all VLA outside hitter, Jeff Vautrin, delivers the point. Tricky swing for Nadazhdin. He gets the ball back for the Rising Tide, put enough sauce on that, and Radira watches it go out of bounds. So nice bailout swing by Serge. Albus going down the line outside the block, and Radira in a good spot on the sideline lets it go out of bounds wide. So break point for the Rising Tide, ties us up at 4. Good serve last time from Magorian. See if he continues to go after it. Yes, he does. Right on cue. An ace serve splits the seam. between Vautrin and Jackson. Deflected off the tape as well. That is nasty. And the Rising Tide take the lead. Beautiful pass by De La Cruz. Vautrin slowed down by a very good block touch, basically a free ball here, but Jewell goes for the setter dump, and Vautrin is all over it. Nice read by number 17 in black, negating what was pretty much a free ball chance off a block touch that was that good. Albus handled nicely. Johnson in the middle, pounded through the block of Kasperzak and down, and the Rising Tide retake the lead. Another really good pass by De La Cruz, finding his rhythm and reception here in the second set, and Kasperzak in the middle ties us up at 6. So a couple good plays and reception by just Boston in general, allowing the offense to be run with all their options. Oh my goodness, a serve, Jeff Vautrin off the chest of Radira and out of play. That one had some heat. (7-6) bounce. The only non-founding 5 team to make the playoffs, and the second year in a row that that's been the case. Boston finished tied for 3rd at last year's championship event. Good bump set there by Jewell. And Kim hits a shot that goes through the Boston block and down. That was a clutch bump set. Tight set, and Jackson followed through and touched the net as he tried to go up and get that tight ball. Rising Tide retake the lead on the server, Chris Johnson. KJ, as he's known, very popular on Instagram, posting clips of him bouncing balls in VLA matches all the time, which is a pretty common occurrence when you're 6'11". Oh, look at that. A float service ace from Nick Kasperzak. Not enough communication there between Nadazhdin and Kim. So Boston retakes the lead. Back and forth here. Start the second set. Another imperfect pass. Not very good at all. No ball handling call correctly. Boston basically gets a free ball out of it, but a good block touch by Castellana. Now Megorian to put it away, and he does. Through the block there and to the floor for the tie. Ponce rescues that low pass, and somehow Jackson goes inside the block of Castellana and puts it away. That's a bit of a miracle there for the Boston Bounce. They'll certainly take it. Ponce back to serve. Nice aggressive setting. Jewell running forward. Quickly finds Castellana in the middle. Pretty good service pressure by Kim, and right on top of the net for Nadazhdin to take a rip on the overpass. Rising Tide take the lead again, 11-10. Pretty good pass. Albus challenges the block of Megorian, gets the coverage. Albus will take another swing, off speed. Jewel is there. Nadazhdin for the break, dug down the line by Ponce. Ooh, really tight set. Albus somehow induces the recycle, then takes a swing and does not miss the deep cross-court corner by much. Man, Sam Albus given a ton of effort on that play. It ends up with an error, but stats won't reflect how actually very good that volleyball was from both teams. Ball not missed out of bounds by much. Kim will continue to serve. He's probably been the Rising Tide's best server overall. Another good one. Right on the net, and Castellano with two hands puts it down. Andrew Kim in his VLA debut playing with a ton of confidence for the Rising Tide right now. And timeout Boston, trying to slow down this serving momentum. The gap is 3, the widest of the set so far. Timeout Boston to try and slow it down. Out of the timeout, Kim continuing to serve. 13-10 Rising Tide, looking to extend. Pretty good pressure again. Difficult swing for Albus. Deep cross court off of Kim and out of play. That is an awesome swing for number 23 in black. Albus, extremely good college club product out of Virginia Tech. Played overseas briefly, now the head coach at Lise McRae University in the Conference Carolinas. Nice pass there by Jackson. Wide open net for Albus. And no doubt about that one. Excellent set from Cameron Ponce. Now Chambers back to serve. 12-14. Boston trails by a set as well. Megorian blocked by Vautrin and covered, but now a free ball for the bounce. Good dig there by Kim. And a diving play by Ponce to keep that alive off the Nadazhdin effort. Megorian blocked, recycled by Vautrin. Albus high off the fingertips and deep cross court. Wow, what a point for the Boston bounce. That was terrific volleyball by both teams. Diving play there by Cameron Ponce down the line towards the barrier earlier in that play to keep it alive. Ponce dusts himself off, gets up again, gets ready to play some more defense. Nice play. 1-point game now for Chambers. That is a net violation. Yes, definitely. I think the bottom of the net on the way up by the Boston block. So 15-13 Rising Tide. We're going to get a double substitution here. Backup setter Josh Friedman, number 15 in blue, out of the University of Hawaii. Backup opposite Owen Chun, the lefty out of Concordia number 9 in blue, both in for SoCal. Vautrin slowed down by Chun. Radira is underneath this. Chun will take a swing and puts it away. Unbelievable. Welcome to the tournament, Owen Chun. Off the bench, getting up really high for that out-of-system kill. That got the bench fired up. Friedman now serving again. And just out of bounds long. Didn't quite catch a piece of the baseline. So Friedman and Chun will stay in for at least the next 3 rotations, I would guess. And they'll try to side out the serve of Sam Albus here. And they do so the easy way. 17-14 SoCal. Nadazhdin back to the line. Rotation 4 received for Boston. Ponce the front court setter with Kasper Zak and Vautrin in the front court with him. That wrist away swing by Kasper Zak, just out of bounds wide. Radira was there, let it go. And smartly so, it turns out. 18-14 now, Rising Tide trying to pull away. A serve, wow, that will certainly help Serge Nadazhdin. That one took a dive right after it passed the plane of the net. Cut straight down in front of Vautrin. 19-14 now. Good pass by De La Cruz. Albus out of the back row, ripped down the line, right on the sideline. Clutch side out from number 23 in black. But Boston bleeds away a couple points in that rotation. Now Vautrin at the service line will try to get him back. Pretty good pass there by Radira. Chun flies and turns it across his body down the line. The lefty injecting some energy off the bench. The 6'2 sub has looked pretty good so far for the Rising Tide. Good setting by Friedman off the bench. Now Johnson to serve. 20-15 Rising Tide. Closing in to go up 2-0. And look at that. Two-handed throwdown by Ponce, the front court setter. Nobody there to stop him. Kasper Zak to serve with the floater. One more side out for the double substitution for the Rising Tide before I would assume they would go back to the bench. But a tricky pass there. Kim slowed down by the block. Pretty good looking transition for Jackson. And sharp cross court inside the block. He puts it away. Solid swing from Ryan Jackson. 17-20 now. There is Kim on a really good quick tempo ball from Friedman to the outside. And now 21-17, and it looks like the double substitution will stay in for the Rising Tide. So Chun will serve, Friedman will block as the front row setter. Interesting move. Sort of just a platoon shift to the Rising Tide. Certainly hasn't stopped their offense. Oh, what a block there by Castellana. Beautiful read and reach into his right to shut down Vautrin. That is a big-time move. And now 22-17 SoCal. It is very much looking like a 2-0 lead for the Rising Tide. Albus scooped down the line by Radira. Nadazhdin out of the back row in transition. That was hit out of bounds. Did not deflect off the block or the defenders. So a lucky break there for bounce. I like that choice, though, to go to the Bic. That will continue to work. Now Ponce now continuing with the jump float serve. Has a good jump spinner if he wants it. Oh, Chun tries to pull that one down the line out of the back row and misses it short. So not over yet. 19-22. Not a great pass by Kim. He is able to send it over. Jackson swinging for the fingertips, and he got him. And the ball hits our camera again, so I will go fix that.
You get my score? Thanks, Steve.
All right, the camera is perfect. It is 23-20 Rising Tide. Andrew Kim has been the Rising Tide's best server. Finished set one with an ace. What can he do here? That is almost an ace. Rescued by Ponce, and then hittable for Albus, but just out of bounds, wide cross court. It was a good-looking swing. Sam can't believe that didn't catch a piece of the sideline, but now it is set point Rising Tide, 24-20. Andrew Kim with a chance to finish this set just like he did the first. Let's see if he can pull it off. Good fight off pass by Vautrin. Albus tipped into the block, and a center line fault. Albus followed through as the ball was still alive, stepped all the way underneath the net, so good call there. 25-20, the Rising Tide, once again by the exact same score, takes set number 2 and a 2-0 lead. Rising Tide looking to guarantee themselves a top 2 seed in tomorrow's bracket, championship bracket. Semis and finals coming up tomorrow. But they're going to have to get this done in set number 3 coming up next.
Honestly, I'm hoping Rising Tide wins so we play Boston because we played Rising Tide 4 times this season.
I'm hoping for the same thing. Gives us different matchups.
Yeah. I mean, 20.
25-20
Yeah, 25-20.
for both. For both.
Yeah, like, I know all 4 times we played Rising Tide, they all went to 5. And they were all 15-13, 15-13, 17-15. And 15-12. It was like the most lopsided match we had all season.
Awesome.
So playing them again, like it's so hard to do.
I would like to see the divisional semifinals tomorrow.
That'd be cool.
I think that would be hype because
But yeah,
divisional semis would be really cool.
Tide has to finish this out, and then we have to actually beat Bounce. I don't know.
Well, it
We're
would
looking
depend on LBC versus Tide as well.
That's true. I mean, we're kind of given the assumption that LBC's going to go
And I
away.
think that they probably will.
But yeah, you're right. That would be the worst if we actually beat Bounce and then Tide beats LBC. We have to play them anyway.
Go, boys.
Set number 3, live from Orlando, Florida. The SoCal Rising Tide leads the Boston Bounce 2-0 in the second match of pool play at the VLA Championship. And the Rising Tide starts set number 3 beautifully. Nice quick tempo ball to the outside, put away by Andrew Kim. So the Rising Tide go back to the original starting setter and opposite combo, Alec Jewell and Troy Magorian. Everything else other than that for both teams is the same lineup-wise. And a good swing there by Chambers in the middle, off the block of Castellana, and Boston's on the board. That is missed out of bounds by Ryan Jackson already. I think his third missed float serve, which is 3 too many, if you ask me. Ball might have been going out of bounds, played by Jackson, and a free ball here for the Rising Tide. Castellana chopped in the middle, just barely missed the sideline. And Castellana disagrees, but I thought that ball was wide. So Boston ties us up at 2. They get the break there on the hitting error. Two missed float serves in a row for the Boston Bounce. Oh, goodness. Nicely controlled spin serve there from Castellana. Good dig by Kim against Albus. And now Magorian will have a swing and down the line. Through the block and down, he puts it away. Good defensive positioning by Andrew Kim in position 6, who's having himself a match. 4-2 SoCal. Castellana to serve again. Ooh, that ball's still alive. Nice save. Good rescue by Kasperzak off the tape, but it's a free ball for the Rising Tide. One hand set and thrown to the floor by Chris Johnson. KJ with the slam dunk, 5-2 SoCal. That was, I think, a swing and a miss by Kasperzak, and Vautrin was able to rescue it. Now De La Cruz makes a good defensive play, and Vautrin with a hittable ball puts it away somehow. Wow, Boston had no business winning that point. But good awareness from Vautrin, and then a good opportunistic swing. 3-5. Pretty good block touch against Johnson, but too high and too hard, and no defense there to slow it down. 6-3 SoCal. Overpass forced. Johnson takes a swing, and he misses it out of bounds. The ball is wide, no touch, a very rare overpass swing error. So Boston catches a huge break there, and now see what Jeff Vautrin can do from the service line. Good service pressure there from Nadazhdin. Tricky swing coming from Jackson. Roll shot is dug easily, and in transition, Nadazhdin out of the back row goes off the block and to the floor on the Boston side. 8-4 Rising Tide. Good service pressure, and followed up by a transition play, all by Serge Nadazhdin. Here he goes again. Beautiful pass. One Bick deserves another. What a blast by Jeff Watchern out of the back row. That was gorgeous. Nice responsive setting there by Ponce. Beautiful deep swing. Andrew Kim, I think, might have even gone over the block and found space in position 6. 9-5 Rising Tide. Looking pretty good here as the champions of the West Division. They won the West Division Cup in San Diego back in February. Brought a really high level of volleyball that weekend. Here they are trying to win the season-long championship. Goofy net play there, and that is definitely a net touch against Chambers of the Boston Bounce. Tip down the line, Megorian is there, but Ponce gets a ball delivered directly into his hitting window and takes a swing and puts it away. Always love when the setter gets a chance to take a swing. Not a great pass by Kim off the float serve. This will be a free ball for Boston. Ponce to Albus. Sharp cross court and in. Beautiful. Look at this footwork by Sam Albus. I really like this. Into about the 10-foot line to handle that first contact. Quick footwork to get back into the outside to take a swing. Real nice. Ooh, I like that hybrid serve a lot from Ponce, but a ball passed so well. They're able to go to the middle, and Castellana puts it away. That serve came out of nowhere. And the Rising Tide just ate it up. That was very impressive. Jewel now, the Rising Tide setter against Boston rotation 1 receive, but a float service error, my favorite. And a substitution now, number 5 in black, Brendan Barron at outside hitter in for Ryan Jackson. 1-on-1-for-1 outside hitter substitution here. And Barron will serve. And that one not even remotely close. Hits the barrier on a fly. And Barron will go right back to the bench. So Jackson back in to receive. Barron is done for the set under international substitution rules. Here's Kim. Pretty good short serve, well read by De La Cruz. Vautrin against 2 blockers is dug by Radira. Castellana tries to send it over, well, does on the second touch, but out of bounds and no touch, so Boston achieves the side out. Stop missing float serves. Oh my God. It's awful. There we go. We get some volleyball to watch now. Megorian off the block gets his own rebound, and on the second chance swing, Serge Nadazhdin puts it away. And for the second set in a row, we're going to see the mid-set double substitution for the Rising Tide. So Friedman in at setter, Chun in at opposite. It's actually worked beautifully for the Rising Tide in the second set. And they didn't even undo the substitution after 3 rotations like I thought they would. So see how long these guys stay in. Nice reaction there from Johnson. This ball will have to be sent over. Chun does, and he puts it away cross court. Nice swing. And good reaction by Chris Johnson. That little one-hand flipper counted as the first contact. It certainly wasn't a block. The Rising Tide knew that. And now they lead by 5. Oh no. I think that serve is under the net. There has to be some consequences involved for that one. And I remember in my junior club days, if you did that, you owed the entire team a box of donuts. Ooh, nice set against the flow by Friedman, and Nadazhdin on the right side now, sort of as that de facto L1 position after the double substitution. Gets the kill off the block and out of bounds on the right side. Nice setting from Friedman. I like that choice. Kasperzak in the middle is dug nicely by Radira. Chun is stuffed straight down. That transition swing could have maybe ended the match if the Rising Tide were able to go up by 6, but Ryan Jackson says, not in my house. Perfect pass there by Kim, and a no-doubter in the middle by Chris Johnson. That is so fast. So fast, and just a brilliant angle, great high contact point. Everything about that is great. Substitution in here. Is that Aaron Kuby substituting in the middle? Wow, this is interesting. The Rising Tide do only have 2 middles on the roster this weekend, so they're going to put the Frenchman, Aaron Kuby, out of his normal position and see what he can do. He actually gets a good block touch right there. And Kim takes a swing. That ball's actually still alive somehow. Free ball chance here for the Rising Tide. Kuby gets a set in the middle. But he's not able to be a part of that block that time. It's a kill for Ryan Jackson off the single block of Chun out of bounds. So some interesting stuff, to say the least, going on the Rising Tide side. Team certainly known for their creativity. It is 17-13. Still got to maintain at least a high level of side-out execution the rest of the way. Oh, ace serve. Cameron Ponce finds the seam. And Nadazhdin and Radira just stuck looking at one another. Clean, untouched ace there for the Boston setter. It's a 3-point game. There's Kuby in the middle. Oh man, I hope you guys get to watch Aaron Kuby play some of his actual position, which is outside hitter later on. We've even seen him set in a pinch in a couple emergency situations. Pretty versatile guy, getting to show his skills in the middle right now. Kuby out of UC Irvine by way of Caen, France. And that served by Chun, missed way out of bounds. Friedman went for the one-handed set there. I'm not sure exactly who that was supposed to go to, but Chun couldn't keep it alive. Passed maybe just a tiny bit too tight. Nice block touch there against Kim, but a net touch by Albus, the blocker, on his way down.
Make sure we're getting the score right.
2016.
We have 19. Yeah, I think it's 19. We have 19. Yeah. Yeah, it's 19. I'm very confident about that.
I have 1 job.
All right, just making sure we get the score correct. It's been correct here on the broadcast. We're just getting it right in the house. 19.
It's literally connected. I don't know why. It says 19 right
It's
here.
19. Yeah, 19. 19-16 is the correct score, as it's been on the broadcast, just trying to fix it here in the house. Kim serving, 3-point lead. Vautrin down the line, dug nicely by June. Kim sends it over. Now Ponce to Chambers, and he's blocked by Kubi. Look at that. A non-middle blocker makes a one-on-one blocking play. They're substituted into the middle. It is now 20-16. Kim serving again.
We had it right.
Yeah, I don't know why. The thing's got a weird like jump ahead and then delay.
Wow, look at Kim flying out of the back row. Maybe just the tiniest bit of misconnection, and he misses it out of bounds. Couldn't quite find the corner, so now 18-20. Rising Tide can't fall asleep at the wheel here if they want to get this done in a sweep. There's Nadazhdin, slowed down by a block and a dig. Jackson will take a swing to send it over, but he comes up short. I do like the play to take a swing at that, though. So now Kubi, after being inserted at middle blocker, will go back to serve. And Johnson to the front court. Ponce to Albus, tipped over the top. And too tight of set there from Friedman. And Albus is there waiting to throw it down. This is a pretty important service run, potentially right here from Albus. Pretty good pressure. Oh, Friedman, the front court setter, is able to rescue that and send it over. But a little bit out of sorts here are the Rising Tide. Now they've got a chance to take a swing, and Johnson puts it away off the block and out of bounds. That was a pretty miraculous scramble. Nice play by Josh Friedman. And now he will go back to serve, and at 22-19, Rising Tide can taste the sweep. They could set themselves up with a date with Team LVC later this afternoon. Serve missed by Vautrin, and Boston's two best servers, Albus and Vautrin, now done with their probably last service trips of the set. That might have represented Boston's last chance right there. It's 23-20 Rising Tide. They got to get Nadazhdin off the line. Albus is stuffed straight down by Johnson. That is a no-doubter. Huge double block. Johnson all over that one. That brings up match point Rising Tide, 24-20. Nadazhdin with the honors. And he rips an ace serve off the platform of De La Cruz to finish the match in style. And man, how often do you see this? 25-20, 25-20, 25-20. Identical scores for all three sets, but the most important number is Rising Tide 3, Bounce 0. The SoCal Rising Tide advance to take on Team LVC for the number 1 seed. That match will be later this afternoon at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Coming up next, Boston will be in action again against the Phoenix Ascension in about an hour 15, 2 p.m. Eastern. Next match, The Phoenix Ascension against the Boston Bounce. Winner of that takes the 3 seed in tomorrow's semifinals. But it is the Rising Tide who get the match off and a little bit of time to celebrate. Very nice win, 25-20 in all 3 sets, 3-0 over the Boston Bounce. So we'll be back in a little over an hour, 2 p.m. Eastern, Phoenix versus Boston first serve for that match. Until then, Rob St. Clair thanking you for tuning in live on the VLA YouTube channel to the Tier 1 Championship Tournament. Only going to get more exciting from here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next match. Great job, dude. Thanks.
Yeah, there's a weird disconnect sometimes. I notice when I put the scoring here, it'll be off by a point up there, but then when I hit the next point,
It catches up.
Catches up the cycles. And then every once in a while, it'll be like when we had the confusion at 20, I punched in 20 and it jumped ahead to 21 for a second and then came back to 20.
Weird.
I'm like, there's a weird, so just let him know if the down rep is like, not
Okay.
sure, that's not.
That's not the gospel. This is. Okay, got it. Good stuff.
Eventually it evens out, but I don't want them to have to try and go off of that.